No, you do not need to have expensive cards for whatever shit to be considered good, have a good deck, whatever shit. Fill in the fucking blank. I'm speaking from a person that does not necessarily have financial support, which means I make my own money. It isn't like I can go to somebody, and I really wouldn't want to go to somebody if I just decided to make a stupid financial decision. And it ain't like I have somebody to cushion my fall. So I am a bit more critical and strict about my financial decisions. Some of you do not have this problem. Good job. You can't really determine if a card is good or bad strictly by rarity, because you can have a shitty card like a Wild Monster appears being secret rare, but then you can have like a really good card, Performance Trick Clown, that's a common. They made that motherfucker common. Performance Trapeze Magician is a very, 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 very good Xyz. They only made it rare though. When you look at rarities of cards, they're usually dictated by the uniqueness of something. Cosmo Farm Girl is rather unique. Yes, the Cosmo archetype is unique, but obviously, they wanted to push the shit. They was not going to just give us all commons and rare shit. That's something that we should have at least understood from Burning Abyss. There are certain cards that are pretty good that end up being higher rarity. Remember when Solemn Warning was first revealed or whatever shit? Most people knew that it was a good card. And why is that card good? Because most of the time, your opponent is going to be summoning a monster. Or, if you're not inherently summoning one, your opponent is going to be activating an effect to summon a monster, which Solemn Warning negates. And then conveniently, shortly after that, Solemn Judgment got banned. I personally feel there is no card that should be worth more than $5. However, as you should know how real life is, this goes for tennis shoes, from clothes, any of that shit. The material of which a product is made from does not dictate its price. Speaking of prices, feel free to look this card up. And in Yu-Gi-Oh's case, you have a much easier time getting good cards, or ones that were expensive. They drop a little bit because of reprints. We get structure decks every year, at least 2 a year. We also get core sets, the 100 card set, whatever. We also get like something that's just random. It'll be like Dragons of Legend 2, what other shit is it? Gold Series, it'll be some shit. And then the new thing that started last year, we get Megatins, which have reprints in them. So even if you wanted good cards and they were expensive, they're more than likely going to drop. Like Farm Girl right now. Next year, she will be in the Megatins. If they continue with that long. Who knows? The main point of this video is saying you do not need expensive cards. Most of these cards that are expensive, they are unique, but they're not meant for every deck. If you're going to play the card in the deck that is meant for, then that's one thing. But it is not something that you have to do. Like, you don't need Ghost Song Snow Rabbit. You don't need Archfiend Eccentric. You don't need a lot of these cards that are expensive. It's just that because they're expensive, they seem to be more attractive. Did you look up the price of this card yet? And that's not saying that these cards are bad, because they typically aren't, but they are not required. The game is much easier to start up now if you had no cards than it was years ago. I understand the temptation to want to have expensive cards, but in the long run, you typically won't need them. And the ones that are expensive don't stay expensive forever. You can usually just wait a bit, might be a year, but I understand that patience is a virtue and not everybody has it. I'm not going to act like that I've always been the most patient motherfucker. Not really. It is something that comes with time. So I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you'd like to help me pay rent, all you got to do is the following. Disable ad block. Click an ad or two. Put it back on. That's all I'm asking, literally seconds. Thank you very much in advance. You have my gratitude. There's also people out there that want these expensive cards because for some reason they feel that's going to get them accepted by some people. Some people consider them like elite duelists. Duel is such a lame fucking word. Most of the time, if you're trying to get somebody to accept you as one of them by using something like a material possession and not just yourself, you've already lost. Oh wait, but that's just too advanced. I'm sorry.